What's going on, guys? Today I am here with PIEGUYRULZ and we are going to talk about Smash Bros. Every single Smash Bros. Game. How are you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm ready to talk about Smash Bros.
So to start things off, we are going to actually not talk about the game, but the commercial. The original Smash Bros. 64 commercial. What were your thoughts on this?
It's like the best Nintendo commercial of all time. Probably one of, if not my favorite commercial of all time. And we're talking about the me and you and me, the four Nintendo characters walking arm in arm peacefully until one of them decides to misbehave. I'm not gonna name names.
Yeah, you have to watch the commercial. Actually, I'm probably going to have the commercial playing in the video if you've never seen it before. It's one of the greatest Nintendo commercials I've ever seen. Like, in fact, all the N64 commercials are just amazing. Like, if you haven't seen them, seriously, look them up on YouTube. The one for Mario 64 where he goes into the fridge, drinks like a glass of milk and gets really big, and then I don't remember exactly what happens.
Oh yeah, he jumps into the TV.
Yeah, he jumps into the TV. Yeah, that's what happens after. And then there's the Hey You Pikachu commercial where the kid's talking to the N64 and the dog's complaining that he's not getting the attention from the kid anymore because the kid is paying attention to Pikachu.
I really love the
oh my gosh,
the Banjo Tooie commercial where Banjo jumps out of the airplane and he's like Kazooie's parachute, but Kazooie's not there because you can split up in Banjo Tooie, and so he just jumps out without Kazooie, and he's like Kazooie. It's a good commercial. For some reason, one of the things they did a lot in the N64 era was these guys in like these big costumes, like that's what they have in the Smash Bros commercial. They have these big costumes that these people wear, and that's just the commercial. I guess it's too expensive to like render new 3D stuff, so you'd rather just get a guy in a big plush suit. But yeah, there were some great commercials. All right, well that's it for our big commercial discussion. Any final thoughts, Nate?
If you haven't seen them, go watch them. I'm serious. Like, you will get a kick out of them. 90s commercials were amazing. I just hope that, they're not going to come back. I do wish that those style of commercials would come back because they're so entertaining. So I guess I'll go ahead and start things off and just kind of talk about my first thoughts playing Smash Bros. So I remember first playing the game. I was like 8 years old, maybe 7. I was pretty young at the time. And I had this friend, his name was Aaron, and I didn't have an N64 at the time. I actually didn't really play video games, but I made friends with him at school, and I ended up going to his house one day. And it turned into this routine where I'd go to his house every Tuesday and Thursday. I forgot exactly why. My mom basically made me and my sister go to his house, but we ended up becoming really good friends, and the first game that I ever played with him was Smash 64. And we played this game every single time I visited his house.
It's ironic that I think Smash Bros is a better bonding experience than like Mario Party. Like you fight against each other in Smash Bros, but it is a good bonding experience. I don't quite remember the first time I played it, but it must have been over one of my friends' houses. I do remember getting it, and I actually have a picture. I don't have it with me. You can't see it, sorry. But there exists a picture of me holding the game on Christmas on my grandfather's lap because I was so happy my grandparents got it for me. I remember just really wanting that game badly, and I finally got it, and I played it a bunch.
Oh, yeah. Like for me, I got really, really good at this game. Like, I was actually able to take down a team of level 9 computers, all of them against me.
Really?
I could beat them. No problem.
All right, did you unlock the last stage?
I did, yeah.
Really?
I don't remember how to do it. I still don't know how to unlock the stages. I just kind of played the game, and you unlock everything.
There was only one stage to unlock. It's the Mario Bros stage.
The Mario Bros stage, which is pretty cool. I like that you can go from pipe to pipe, even though it's kind of cheap now that I think about it. But still an interesting idea.
Yeah, my experience as a kid, I was terrible at it. Couldn't play it very well. I must have just mashed the buttons. Definitely didn't understand like the shielding or throwing mechanics. Just button mashed. Yeah, it was the first fighting game I ever played. I know that much. I was never into fighting games before it.
I think the only reason I was good at it, though, was because I abused items like crazy. I just loved items. Like, every time I played with Aaron or my sister, they would always get mad at me when I won because I would usually throw something at them, like the Bob-omb. Something about the Bomb in Smash 64 is just so memorable to me because I got so good with this thing. I literally went into training mode to learn the physics and the speed and the velocity of this bomb.
Dang.
So whenever I had a bomb in my hand, you're going to die. You're going to get hit by it, no matter what. Like, I could hit people from the other side of the screen easily. I played this game a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, I never got that good. Though I do have to say, I played a lot of the single-player campaign. Like, well, I guess it's like the campaign. There wasn't multiple campaigns. It was just the single player, where you fight up like the wireframes and the giant character and the Metal Mario and stuff like that. That's what I played a lot because only child. I definitely played it a bit at other friends' houses, but when I was alone, I played the heck out of that.
No, it's interesting you mentioned the campaign because a lot of the things in this game aren't in traditional fighting games. And I don't know about you, but I actually never played at a traditional fighting game. Like, this was my first fighting game. I'd never heard of Street Fighter or Streets of Rage or, wow, I'm forgetting all of the big
Mortal
names right
Kombat.
now. Mortal Kombat. Wow, that's pretty sad. I couldn't remember that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've played the traditional fighting games now, and I still just don't enjoy them. They aren't as free-flowing, and they aren't nearly as fun as Smash's.
It's the combo thing. It's because Smash Bros. Is the only one that doesn't make you learn combos. I mean, unless you're at like the super crazy competitive scene, but the game isn't really designed with combos. You don't have to learn, like, okay, rotate the joystick, half quarter turn, do A, B, X, Z, up C. No, you don't do that. You just A is punch, B is special move, you jump around, you can shield and throw, and like that's it. That's what the game was, and it was very item based, and it was very floaty and jump around and make use of the environment, which is very different to pretty much any fighting game outside of, I don't know, Jump Superstars or whatever.
I'm trying to think if I've heard of that game. I don't think I have.
It's an import title, only in Japan. It's got all the Shonen Jump characters like Goku and Naruto and Bo.
Oh.
Anyway.
So, any favorite characters or any favorite stages in this game?
Of the original Smash 64, I definitely played a lot of Link and probably Pikachu. Probably just because I liked Pikachu. But Link was the one that I was probably better with. I enjoyed the Star Fox stage. The name of that stage changes between games, so
Sector Z.
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead.
That's the name.
Yes, later Corneria. But yeah, that one was really cool because it's like it's a big open stage. It's one of the bigger ones, and yet it still has a little something to it. It's got the tip of the wing, and like the little area underneath. And then the other one I like was Cerulean City, the Pokemon stage.
Oh, Saffron City.
Saffron City, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember like the little Chansey that pops out. And just the layout of that stage was cool because you can kind of trap people between buildings. What about you? What are your favorite stages?
I'm probably going to have to say Sector Z like you, just because it's so large and it feels... I like Sector Z just because of how big it is, and also Congo Jungle. I've always really enjoyed that stage because I love being able to get saved from the cannon. Right when you think someone's just going to defeat you or they knocked you out for good, you jump in the cannon and you're fine. So those are probably my favorite stages. And in terms of characters, I'm going to have to go with Fox all the way. I loved Fox before he was considered hip and melee. I was a Fox main. I'm still kind of a Fox main. And I liked playing as Ness too in Smash 64.
Oh yeah, you know what? I did too, I think. I don't know. Did you play as Jigglypuff at all?
No. I hated Jigglypuff. I remember when I used to play against all the computers whenever I played on my own, the Jigglypuffs were always the hardest to beat for some reason. Maybe they kept using rest on me, or they were just faster than whoever I was playing as. I don't really remember. So, is there anything you dislike about the game?
Okay, so I don't like the Mushroom Kingdom stage, which is ironic because I was never able to unlock this when I was younger. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know that I knew it existed. But in more recent times, because my other experience with Smash 64, and I'll mention this probably a few times, at my high school, we had a senior lounge, and we had an N64 game and a GameCube. And so we played a ton of both 64 and Melee. And so probably my more recent, definitely my more recent experience with it is then. And I've recently played on that stage, and I do not like it. It is an annoying stage. It's a walk-off, and I think it's the only walk-off in that game. Annoying then and annoying now. What about you? What is there anything else you dislike, or is there anything you dislike?
The only thing that I really dislike about the game is that the gameplay just feels really slow and kind of clunky.
Yeah.
And I only think that because the newer games have really refined the controls and the overall game engine. But going back to it isn't that easy, especially since there's like you can only throw forward and backwards. There's no down and up throws. You can't use B sideways. You can't dodge in the air. There's a lot of you're really limited.
No C stick.
And no C stick. That's
Yeah.
right.
You have to also deal with the N64 controller, that wonderful controller.
I love the N64. That controller is trash.
Yeah, I mean, nostalgically, I like the controller, but like critically and objectively, yeah, it's terrible. It's just
bad.
terrible. The joystick, like it's I don't know any N64 controller that I've used, except for maybe like third-party ones that they sell now. The joystick is just loose because of just years of wear and tear. It's not designed in the same way as more current joysticks, so it's always like loose. Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's not really a problem of the game itself in its time, but that's definitely a problem if you were to try to go back to. It's definitely the hardest to go back to.
Yeah, the only reason I can go back to it is because the two of the N64 controllers that I have are actually, my friend Aaron, I talked about him earlier, they're his controllers when we were kids.
Oh, man.
And those joysticks are the best joysticks we have. Like, I have other N64 controllers, but the joysticks are really, really stiff. These ones just feel great. They've been used for over a decade, and they still work really well.
Wow. I've never run into an N64 joystick that works really well.
It's amazing those controllers even work. Like, whenever we're playing Mario Party together, we get really into it for fun. Mm-hmm. Like, we have thrown those controllers on the ground so many times, and they still work. I don't understand. They're the most durable controllers ever, aside from, like, maybe the NES ones.
I guess on one hand, you can look at that as a plus in that it does play as differently as like way more differently than any of the rest of them. So there is a point in going back to it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say there's a point in going back to Melee, and I'm sure there is. But if you want a different Smash experience, this is the one. Like if you've never tried it, don't expect it to necessarily be better than the newer Smash Bros games, but it is definitely a different experience. I can say that.
Yeah, if you like the new ones and you've never played the original, you have to at least try it.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Just to see how it all started.
But be aware that it's going to be slow and it's going to be clunky, and all 8 of these characters have made it through every other game, so you're not getting any characters here that you don't already have.
Which is really cool that Sakurai has done that. Like,
yeah.
It's unbelievable that Jigglypuff is still in the newer Smash Bros games.
It almost got cut, I think, a few times in Brawl. They said that it was like really late in development or something. I heard at least rumors that Jigs was almost cut, but yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now it's just a tradition. They have to keep those original 12 for forever.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna cut Mario or Luigi. And like characters like Fox and Captain Falcon they were pretty much made in these games. I mean, yes, they have their own games, but Captain Falcon didn't do anything in F-Zero. Like, I don't know, Fox is pretty well known for his abilities in Smash. So I doubt they'd cut any of those guys anytime soon.
So let's go ahead and move on to Super Smash Bros. Melee. So what were your thoughts the first time you played this one?